I want to do a PSA here because it's very important for Circus and I guess for me, as that hey, we're not really gonna diagnose people. We're not psychologists. We're just basic people out here on the internet that can just do a Google search and like do WebMD, look up WebMD shit, I'm trying to like there's so many. I've had so many instances. I think you remember I remember we asked me this question when we were having a conversation before. You asked me, "Is there something that you can't put words to, but you know it and you can't there's not a word to explain it, or at least you don't know a word to explain it?"
That sounds like something I would say, yes.
This is that instance right here where I've been through and like gone through so many different types of people and experienced many different forms of emotional manipulation, like controlling manipulate just so many different people who like have their own toolbox of like being like of trying to get what they want from others and using different methods to get there, and I don't ever have I have the intuition to pick up on it. I have the intuition to know how to combat it because I've been through it so often, but I don't know the words in order to explain it, to describe it. So you need to help me with this segment because don't have the I don't have the vocabulary, but if I see it in real life, I know when to spot it, I know when it's happening, and I know when to stay away from it. Like, I can spot the red flags, but I don't know how to name them.
I mean,
You're better at this than me. You're better at that. You're real good at this.
I don't know if I could come up with a specific word for you if that word exists, but I can understand that over a lifetime of being around people who want to get something out of you, they want to manipulate you and all that, it's going to create a radar, whether you like it or not, of being able to spot it. It's a survival mechanism. It's kind of like people that have been through war or police officers or
Mm,
security guards. If especially if they've been through some rough times where they've actually gotten hurt, they gain like this sixth sense for knowing when
yeah,
danger is gonna come.
I got that sixth
Um,
sense. I'm telling you, man. But
Women particularly have this. They have a almost supernatural way to know when danger is coming or when something's gonna happen.
like that
People
friend,
try to,
like your friend who like spotted out a weird shady character 50 feet away from y'all.
yeah, and that's just my memory of it. It could be by far more than 50 feet. We were like way deep in a park. This man was like at the entrance of the park,
Like,
and then
dude.
he was like someone's watching us, man. I'm like, yo, what are you talking about? Where there's no one around. I'm looking everywhere. I don't see shit. She's like, it's only until she insisted, like, we need to get out of here. I'm like, all right, I need to make sure that this person trusts me, that I want to make sure that they know that I'm listening to them so that we leave. And then we leave. And this man is like right there at the entrance. I'm like, oh, that's
Oh yeah.
different.
Yeah, man. We gotta have that sixth sense for our survival, to be honest. Like,
It, so for
it's
your
really helped
case,
me in my life for sure. But do you think you have that sixth sense now, or like you find out
oh
you
no,
find
like
out on your
I'm
own?
oblivious.
Oh shit,
I'm
you are
oblivious. My ego is way too like, let's say, muscular to like give
muscular.
a shit.
It's way too thick. It's too thick.
It's too stacked. Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess it's kind
it's
of
too
like
thick. Thick with
I
two
have
C's. It's
already the case is I mean like trigger warning everyone about life and stuff like that. I've already dealt with multiple like existential crisis and like thoughts of ideation, and if I'm going with there. So like my
unaliving.
own life in terms of, yeah, my own life in terms of like self-preservation is kind of already like dampened at that point.
Well, yeah, no,
Also,
I'm
I'm
I'm talking about not in the sense of danger, but in the sense of like when in the in interactions with other people, like do you have a sixth sense of like being able to understand somebody's trying to get you to do something, get you to manipulate you, you know what I mean?
Oh, see, that's another part of my character that I'm not too proud of, but kind of am at the same point. Uh, I'm a very big believer in vengeance. So if someone is manipulating me, it's almost like I'm going to allow them to manipulate me to see where it's gonna go, because I believe in love and war. If someone is manipulating me to get something out of me, then that's fair game for me to do the same to them as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, yo, that
So
I
it's
guess
like,
that's I get that.
so like you want to play this
You're not
game, buddy?
a
Oh,
and
let's
this is
go. I,
and this is why circus. I don't know if you should be anywhere close to a man in power, position of power, man. I really don't know if you got the hoods. Well, you got the chutzpah for it, but I don't know if you got the right moral code for that.
well, yes, I do. In my opinion, I do.
Oh yeah, I know you. I get it, but like, no, it just makes me question it. Makes me a little nervous about it. I'm just like, anyway. I'm just saying, someone who believes in revenge. I don't know if they should be like a politician somewhere in the world. No, I'm kidding. But as a checks and balance guy, I think I could trust you on that one. Um, though I will say, like, yeah, like when it comes to, yeah, like when it comes to that kind of thing of, what's the word? Like, those little like manipulations that are trying to get you, like, and how you like you let them do it back. I get that. I'm not one of those people. Like, I feel like anytime someone's trying to manipulate me, I'm gonna get the fuck out of there. I'm an escape artist.
Well, let me tell you, and this is not for me. I didn't come up with this, though I don't know who exactly to give credit to. But when it comes to like people manipulating others and people being in power over others, sometimes that power comes in the form of an individual being emotionally indebted to someone,
Hmm.
or at least that they believe that they're emotionally
Oh
indebted to
yeah,
someone. So you can have someone that's blackmailing you, or they're emotionally blackmailing you,
yeah,
but that doesn't necessarily work if you at the same time are not in the position where you either a can be emotionally blackmailed or that you're already emotionally in debt.
mm,
So if someone feels like they're emotionally indebted to, like they owe you something, in order to avoid that, from the let's see giver position, is that you need to reassure that person that hey, this whole time in our relationship, everything that I'm doing because I'm wanting to, and you don't owe me anything.
yeah. That's
You
how
reassure them that way.
that's how me and my brother operate.
Yeah, and on the other end, the receiving end, you make it a thing too. Like, hey, understand that I don't really want anything from you that you don't want to give me. So anything that happens that I receive from you or whatever, I consider it like this is something that you're doing because you want to. I don't feel I'm in a position to give anything back. Anything I give back is in the same light because I want to and I'm choosing to. And then you
Yeah.
create a very nice foundation where neither
It's
neither
just
person
giving and
ever
it's just a nice giving and receiving without like emotional blackmail.
without expectation.
Yeah. Without expectation,
Yes.
yeah, and emotional blackmail. Like
Yes.
expectation is like a lesser toxic not a it's a more healthy form of it, but expectation that gets really, that makes expectation with resentment, with an unstable personality, you get emotional blackmail.
Yeah. When you when you, not necessarily you who talk about when you want to control someone, it's as simple as knowing where they're coming from and knowing them as a person.
Yeah.
Can you control them with emotional blackmail? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah.
Can you control them
I
with
th-
their own ego?
you know,
Perhaps.
I've done that. Not emotional blackmail, but I've probably guided people by using their ego as a way to get like basically, leaning into their ego to in order to do it. Like, it's called flattery. That's one method. That's not, the only method, but um I think because I've been at the receiving end a lot of these methods, I know I could choose to do those methods too, but it always gives me an icky feeling, so I just don't. Emotional blackmail is one of them. I could easily just be like that and be like, okay, I know this person well enough. Okay, I know that they care about this specific thing. This gives them an emotional trigger, and I can if they and like I know them well enough where I can manipulate them in order to like blackmail them in a sense to get them to do this. It is not a method I like at all. Like, it's not, in my experience, it's just it's not it doesn't do good for the other person. Like, if I were to ever manipulate somebody, because manipulation, let's be honest here, it's not all bad. Manipulating people's not all a bad thing. It's a gray area. Some people are like, might think that's never okay to manipulate someone, and sometimes, some people might think in certain instances it's perfectly fine. And I'm one of those people that it depends on the method, it depends on how you do it, and which way you go about it, and the intention of what you're trying to do. So the way I go about it is like from my own justifiable, my own like moral compass, um my own moral opinion about these things is that for me, how I operate is if I were to use any manipulation tactic, it would always be for the greater what I believe. It's selfish inherently to believe you know better for somebody than they know for themselves. But let's just say like somebody asked me, or a good friend of mine is like telling me that they have all these goals in mind for themselves, where they're like, my goal is I want to be a hairdresser. Like, oh, I want to do this with my life. I want to be a hairdresser. I want to cut hair. I love cutting hair. I love seeing the smile on people's faces when I help them look good and feel good about themselves. And but I see them sitting on a couch with no job, on unemployment or on welfare or something like of those sorts, and they're not moving on these goals. Well, they asked me, could you help me figure out a way to do these things? I I say, if I care about this person, well, I'll try to manipulate them into doing what's good for them and what they asked me to do, which is help them. Um the ways in which I believe the right way to go about it is to not instill negativity in a person um that is harmful, that will make that will basically out of resentment or out of spite, um like to make them feel like, harm them emotionally in some way. Though if you know the person well enough, this is where the gray area goes. If you know the person well enough, and you know that and they know you well enough, you could get away with maybe, using like not negative reinforcement, but negativity as a fuel, because that's how they operate the best. Some guys, especially this works for guys, like some guys just need like some critical ass advice, and to get them to basically to get them themselves off their ass. Like a lot of my guy friends, I'll just be like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Like they're slacking in their diet, slacking in their workout or whatever. I'm like, yo, you looking a little flabby there. What's going on? Like, yo. Well, when's the last time you've been to the gym? When's the last time you ate healthy? You ate clean? Like, you can't like. And I'll just be like, I'll like tease them or antagonize them in a way in order to get them to do what's good for them. But you got to know that person well enough to know for them to know that they're not going to take it in a bad way. They're going to be like, they'll be competitive back. You know. You can use
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Tell a guy like his dick don't work.
Yeah, then it'll start working then. No, I'm kidding.
You're surprised how well that works.
Oh shit, damn. I don't know, man. But yeah, I'm talking about like I can't speak. Manipulation, mental manipulation, and how it could be good used for good, and then mental manipulation when it could be used for negativity and bad.